Cześć. Pomyślałem sobie, że dziś dla odmiany obejrzymy sobie film związany z Virtua Fighterem i to Virtua Fighterem 2. Jakieś kilka miesięcy temu gdzieś w internecie zobaczyłem film, który dodałem sobie do zakładek, no i on tak leżał, a ponieważ jakiś czas temu Sega potwierdziła, że będzie nowy Virtua Fighter, no to pomyślałem, dobra, to jest chyba dobry moment, żeby do tego filmu wrócić i tak naprawdę go obejrzeć. Jest to historia dwóch graczy, Bun Bun Maru oraz Daimon Lao. Ten filmik trwa trochę ponad 10 minut i został wrzucony na YouTube'a na kanale Virtua Kazama. Link oczywiście znajdziecie w opisie. Oglądajmy. Dobra, to oczywiście nie jest Virtua Fighter, ale to je pokażę. O, tam trochę głośniej. Tak, pokazuje rywalizacje różne. To też znacie.
But in the world of Virtua Fighter, there's one rivalry that sets the hype in the competitive scene during the 1990s. That rivalry is none other than Boom Boom Maru versus Diamond Lao. Now I know what you're thinking. BK, who are these two nobodies and why should I care about them? First of all, rude! Second, it's time for a brief history lesson.
Głos cicho w porównaniu do muzyki
Boom
troszkę.
Boom Maru is hailed as one of the 6 legendary Tetsugen players of Virtua Fighter, along with Kasao, KK Yukikaze, Shinjuku Jackie, Ike Sera, and Kashiwa Jeffrey.
Niestety,
His character of choice is Wolf Hawkfield, a character who is known for having one of the most damaging throws in the game. If he hits
Pozdrowienia
with a
dla
giant
Entryka
swing,
i dla
prepare to
Batiego.
eat some serious damage.
Damage,
Diamond
no i
Lao
ring
is a
out.
VF2 player known for his aggressive play with his character of choice, Lao Chan. He is known to be one of the strongest players in the Kyoto region, alongside with fellow player
No
Zap.
tam ten
Now that I got
pressing,
the introduction out of the way, let's begin.
pressing tego Lao był mega.
Back in 1995, Virtua Fighter 2 was already making waves in the arcade scene in Japan. This was the game where the competitive scene was born, especially with the birth of the Athena Cup series, now known today as the Beat Tribe Cup series. Around that time, there were rumors of a certain VF player in Kyoto who was winning his matches via ring out with Lao. The rumors started to spread outside of locals, and as a result, several players from Tokyo traveled to Kyoto to take on the player, only to get bodied in the end. That player was none other than Diamond Lao. They discovered that Diamond used Lao's Shajosho, a pressure tool that launches your opponent on a counter hit, allowing for a juggle to happen. Trying to interrupt the string is a death wish, considering the nature of Lao's rushdown game. For Diamond's sake, he managed to use his strategy in an effective manner, which would be the key to his victories. After that devastating loss, the Tokyo players went back to their local arcades to prepare how to stop Lao's shenanigans. And it only continued from there.
Kurde, show telewizyjny, proszę.
Meanwhile, there was a Virtua Fighter 2 tournament that was shown on live TV around the same year, where the winner takes on Boom Boom Maru as
Kurde,
the
jaki
final
styl.
challenge. Should Boom Boom Maru lose, he has to face public humiliation by wearing a sash that reads "Watashi wa makenu desu," which translates to "I am a loser" in Japanese, and posting flyers of the same message all over arcades in Tokyo. I'm not joking. He had the final boss treatment where he gets to sit on a throne with 2 beautiful women as they watch the entire tournament together.
A to jeszcze Umbrella.
How cool is that? The tournament began and several players competed for the rights to challenge the Tetsugen. Ike Sera, who I've previously mentioned before, was also competing in the tournament as well. Unfortunately, he was knocked out of the tournament due to an upset victory from his opponent. That sucked. Diamond Lao also entered the tournament, creating chaos with his character. Not only did he reach the finals, he also showed some disrespect to Boom Boom Maru in their first encounter. When the match began, Diamond used his overwhelming pressure game against Boom Boom Maru in the
70%
first two
paska
rounds.
ponad.
He almost wrung out Boom Boom Maru in the first round. Same thing happened in the second round. Only difference, he didn't
Walka,
break
nie
the neutral
runda.
throw, and Boom Boom Maru was in trouble.
Bo tam na górze
By
jest...
round 3, Boom Boom Maru began to turn things around, starting off with a
Boom
giant
się nie
swing of his
świecą.
own.
Skwarant?
And then he finished the round with a scoop slam, which puts him to 2-1. He was down,
A,
but not out.
chyba, że to jest... ten kolor jest na tyle słaby, że nie widać tutaj.
And he did it again in the fourth round,
Okej, chyba
despite
się
the fact
świeci
that he
faktycznie.
almost lost the entire game.
Czyli grali FT1 w walkach i FT3 w
With one
rundach.
round left to go, this would determine who would take the W at the end. In the final round, Diamond opened up with 2 neutral throws, starting with the first one, followed by the second one,
Fajnie, że nagrywali ich reakcje.
and then he used Lao's counter hit string to defeat Boom Boom Maru and win the tournament. What a pop-off! And since Boom Boom Maru lost, he had to face
I'm a
public
loser.
humiliation by wearing a sash and going to various arcades in Tokyo to let people know that he indeed is a loser in Virtua Fighter 2.
Jakie sigmastyczne. O, to jeszcze trochę tego filmu jest. Dobra, myślałem, że to już końcówka.
Losing to Diamond Lao struck a nerve with Boom Boom Maru. As a result, he needed to find a way to counter Lao's pressure game. The solution to the problem is to crouch dash backwards to avoid the first string, crouch the second string, and then punish with a throw.
No
He
kurde.
tested this theory out with Shinjuku Jackie in the arcades before the next tournament. Both players were not sure if this strategy would work in an actual match. The third Athena Cup took place on June 25th, 1995, with 48 teams competing in the tournament, and over 300 to 400 people crammed into an arcade to watch the event. Boom Boom Maru's team consists of himself, Man the Satan Shark, and Kasai Lao, while Diamond Lao's team consists of himself, Zap, and Boom Boom Maru, marking the first time where Kyoto players competed in the event. Both teams drew number 13 and number 14 spots in the bracket, which was fate that brought them back together again. Man the Satan Shark took out both Zap and Boom Maru, but lost to Diamond Lao. Diamond also took out Kasai Lao in the mirror match that ended in a time over.
No
And
kurde.
then
To 3-2
it came
chyba.
down to the rematch of the century. In the first round, Boom Boom Maru attempted to try the strategy out, but got pushed out of the ring. He attempted the same thing again in the second round, this time with the life lead, and it still backfired. During the third round,
co w tej
just
sytuacji?
before he was on the brink of defeat, he managed to pull it
Udało
off,
się.
turning the match in
Giant
his
swing
favor.
do tyłu i jest ring out.
And in the fourth round, Boom Boom Maru had no issue using the crouching backdash technique against Diamond. It went to a point where he now understood how he plays.
No i znowu
In the
2-2.
final round, Diamond Lao was forced to play more defensive, which led to making more mistakes than usual. Boom Boom Maru capitalized
bo
on said mistakes
Nie widział
and won
wcześniej,
the
żeby
match
ktoś czegoś
with a
takiego
giant swing.
używał. Ring out? Nie, ale gdy... Okej.
Download complete! Although neither team won the tournament that year, Boom Boom Maru vs. Diamond Lao was classified as the best bout of the third Athena Cup.
No, najważniejsze, że się zemścił.
You ever seen that FGC meme where Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy is holding the book of fighting game facts that reads, "If your opponent keeps spamming a move, it means you're spamming a mistake"? That rivalry is a prime example of that. Boom Boom Maru had a hard time stopping Lao's pressure game, went to a local arcade to find out how to stop it, and then applied it to his match with positive results. That's how fighting game players
Dobrze
got better.
zdownloadował go
They had
właśnie.
to adapt to this situation in order to beat their opponents. Information sharing was scarce back then, and it's not like nowadays where you had to go online to find this information with other players. Zap mentioned that it was fun to develop your own tricks and show them off to people in the arcades. A few months later, Sega released Virtua Fighter 2.1 in the arcades, fixing certain gameplay issues that were present in the original version. One of them being the PKG glitch, as shown right here. I've watched this rivalry back in the early days of YouTube, since 2007 when it came out, and it was also mentioned on VFDC as well. On top of that, Vep told a story about it on his VF2 video back in 2016. The rivalry of Boom Boom Maru versus Diamond Lau needs to be studied by the FGC
Bardzo mi się
because of the
podoba.
importance of adapting to another player's strategy.
To nawet nie chodzi o Virtua Fightera, nie? Tylko o to, że ta
It's not
historia
only
jest
part of
spoko.
VF history, but also FGC history as well.
Dobra, i to już są kredyty. Tak jak mówiłem wcześniej, link znajdziecie w opisie. Dzięki za obejrzenie tego filmu. Jeśli jest coś, co chcielibyście, żebym obejrzał w poniedziałek o godzinie 18, napiszcie w komentarzu albo gdzieś tam na mediach społecznościowych. A póki co żegnam i widzimy się za tydzień, poniedziałek, godzina 18. Dzięki, do następnego. Cześć.